Welcome if you're joining us for Russellville Cyclone basketball, boys only tonight. This is a part of the Dandy Dozen Classic. So say Classic because then you know who you're going to play. It's not like a regular tournament. Russellville taking on North Little Rock. We're running just a little bit behind, actually not as behind as we were. This game, the game before the Russellville Cyclones, actually started 15 minutes late. It was supposed to be 4:30, tipped off at 4:45, and it looks like, we hold our breath there. It looks like we may be getting closer than 15 minutes behind. However, I do need to say that it's a 2-point game right now. And so we're going to went ahead and started the stream because we didn't want people to think that we weren't able to stream. We face a little bit of difficulty. However, I do want to say that the people at Pulaski Academy, they're not putting on this tournament, but the media staff at PA has bent over backwards to help us, and so we do want to give thanks to them. I'll do that repeatedly throughout the ball game tonight. This is Little Rock Central in gold, and I say that because our Lady Cyclones are actually going to be playing Little Rock Central in December, and with that bucket, they just tied it. Let's hope we don't go overtime, but yeah, the Lady Cyclones taking on Little Rock Central in December. We've gotten a chance to look at them. Our senior boys are going to be taking on North Little Rock. It's the next to last game today. They started games early this morning, and they'll do the same tomorrow. Russellville Cyclones are actually going to be playing the second game tomorrow. They'll start at 9 o'clock in the morning. Our senior boys will play at 10:30 tomorrow morning against Jacksonville. Well, just when you think you're going to get back on schedule, you have a tie game with 18 seconds left, and that's kind of what we don't want to see. After the Cyclone game, Eastham is taking on the Whitehall Bulldogs. Yeah, that's the Whitehall Bulldogs, is what it says on the schedule. Jacksonville's girls team will actually start off tomorrow at 9 o'clock, and then the boys at 10:30. That'll break the tie right there, 58-56 with 14 seconds left. Now, they started at 9 o'clock this morning. Eastham and girls action hosted Earl. We have Memphis East, who's in this. The Bryant Lady Hornets played a noon game against Germantown, Tennessee. And Bryant Lady Hornets are actually taking on a Russellville Lady Cyclones in the first round of the Valonia tournament on Monday. I'll mention this at halftime, too. Our girls are going to Valonia for their tournament next week. The boys will be playing at the Searcy Classic. We don't know how much we're going to be able to cover because there's some afternoon games that we just can't get to Searcy or Valonia in time. So it'll might be like a night before thing that we'll have to post on our Facebook page if we're going to be able to cover the games. We do believe that we're going to get the first game in for the Lady Cyclones when they host Bryant. We'll check that tomorrow, but we're told that they're actually going to be playing at 6:30, and that will give us enough time to get to Valonia and get set up. Lisa Academy, who Russellville played the boys' action, was here. Also, Tupelo, Mississippi was here. And our girls' team played before this one. They had a foul called here. They had fouls to give. Lady Panthers did. It was just 3 fouls each. Lady Panthers, the team in white, hold a 2-point lead with 10 seconds left. That's good for us. I didn't care who won, just didn't want to see overtime. I want to get back on schedule. Our game's slated for 6 o'clock. They'll have 8 to 10 minutes of warm-up time, so we won't be too far behind. Our Russellville Cyclones is going to be taking on the Charging Wildcats of North Little Rock. North Little Rock 3-1 on the season. Our Cyclones 3-0. Both teams waiting for previous teams to clear. North Little Rock 3-1 on the season, and 2 of their 3 wins have been against Bentonville Tigers. They played them twice, up there in Northwest Arkansas and back at home. We'll get into all that in our pregame show and through the game here. Pulaski Academy hosting this, but they're not involved in it. They're not even putting on the tournament. So they have nothing to do with it except hosting. And that's why I said their media group has been over backwards to help us to make sure that we can stream the game. And we do want to express our thanks to one official with the Dandy Dozen, because they are doing a pay-per-view, and they did grant us a chance just to cover Russellville games for free. So would like to express our gratitude for that. We'll have the introductions here in about 7 minutes, a little over 7 minutes on the clock, and then have Russellville Cyclone basketball. We're going to step away, and we're going to cut the audio. As to sometimes if we leave the audio and have music playing, the video is blocked on YouTube. We don't want that to happen, so we will be cutting the audio here as the teams are loosening up. Don't think that anything's wrong. If you can hear me now, you're going to have audio for the game. Cyclones getting ready to take on North Little Rock. North Little Rock 3-1 on the season. They lost their season opener at Marion 82-64, but that was back on November 7th where their football season was completed. Since then, they've won 3 in a row. 2 of those wins have been against Bentonville. They won at Bentonville 60-51. They won a close game. They played back-to-back days, November 17th and 18th, last Friday and Saturday. Won a close one against Jacksonville 50-49, and then beat Bentonville again, this time by 4, 72-68. That win against Jacksonville is a team that Russell's going to see tomorrow. Russell will be back here tomorrow morning at 10:30 for a tip-off against the Jacksonville Titans. So tough non-conference schedule for the Cyclones, taking on the 3-1 North Little Rock Charging Wildcats. Russellville 3-0 on the season, coming off a victory at Rogers. Rogers had beaten Russellville last year. Russell built up a 18-point lead, had to hang on at the end, won by 3, 62-59. The Lady Cyclones won by almost the exact same score that night, 61-58. 3-point win for the Lady Cyclones. They have been off for almost a full week before they will take on Bryant in the first round of the Valonia tournament, and that is going to be at 6:30 on Monday night. We'll talk about that coming up at halftime, all the games, the game tomorrow and all the games next week. We got to focus on this game. Russellville going to be in their anthracite uniforms with the Ville written across the front of it. North Little Rock Charging Wildcats in their blue with gold trim. They are doing the starting lineup, so we'll step away and let you listen to that. Four-guard lineup for North Little Rock. Blake Seegers, number 0, 6'1" senior. Andre Barnes, he's a 5'11" junior wearing number 2. Ja'Cory Withers, 6'1" senior wearing number 3. Number 4, Braylon Frazier, 6' senior. And number 22, Robert Griffin, forward. He is 6'7". For Russellville, a little bit of change in the starting lineup tonight. For your Russellville Cyclones, Achilles Patterson gets the start tonight, 6'5" senior. Donovan Villarreal, wearing number 2, 6'2" junior. Bryce Beavers, number 12. He's a senior. Luke Stump, 6'6" senior, number 22. And Cam Frazier, number 23, a 6'5" senior. North Little Rock, coached by Nathan Claiborne. It's in his first year as a head coach of the Charging Wildcats. He's been a career assistant there, seeming like. Been there since 2005, in the school district since 2005. And he's been an assistant at the high school level for the last 10 years. North Little Rock winning the opening tip. Again, this game being played at Pulaski Academy. They're hosting the Dandy Dozen here today and tomorrow, even though Pulaski Academy's boys or girls team is not involved. They got a big football game tonight. Missing the 3 from the corner, getting the offensive rebound. Turnaround jumper too hard. The tip up no good. The crashing the offensive boards. We're going to get a foul called on Russellville. 4 offensive rebounds. Russell have to clean that up. That's beyond Cam Frazier. Not only giving up the rebounds, we can't be getting in foul trouble. Russell not as deep as they have been in years past. First free throw good there. This is Blake Seegers. 6'1" senior. 4 seniors in the starting lineup for North Little Rock. Getting both to go. Russell hadn't played North Little Rock at the high school level for a long time, however. I don't know what the issue was there. Oh, they had forgotten to start the shot clock. That's what it was. I was going to say, Russell hasn't played him, but they do play him at the junior high level, so probably played against some of these guys. This is Villarreal. Step back, posting up is Frazier. Nothing inside, going to set the pick for Villarreal. Little pick and roll there. Missed the three. North Little Rock has it. They're going to push it up the floor. All the way with the layup. It's Andre Barnes. Russell trailing 4-0. Beavers taking a baseline double team. Try to throw it off. The North Little Rock defender. Didn't work, and here come the charging Wildcats. In the corner, there's Barnes with the three. That one won't go. Patterson skying to get the rebound for Russellville. Here come the Cyclones. Russell got trapped in that corner 2 different times. One time they worked out of it with a pick and roll. Gill is taking it baseline. What a move there by Tank. And now a charge going to be taken by Russellville. Bryce Beavers taking that charge. Ja'Cory Withers picks up the personal. They are not posting who the fouls are on, so we may be struggling to find that. They don't have that up on the scoreboard. They actually had issues with the shot clock when they were trying to work it before the tournament started. They had 40 seconds instead of 35. Off the drive, they missed the layup. We got a late whistle on the foul call. Luke Stump picks up his first. And Frazier will go to the line, shoot 2. Again, we'll try to mention this at the beginning of at least the games early this year. No more 1-and-1. You get to 5 fouls. You get 2 shots. It resets at the end of each quarter. Perfect 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Russell quickly down the floor. Posting up is Stump. They tried to draw the foul, not that good an actor, and Stump with the follow. You can tell they're trying to get Stump and Cam in foul trouble, and that would have been a horrible call had they have allowed that to happen. That one rolls off the iron. They got 1 rebound, but Cam there to get the defensive board. Villarreal. There's Stump. To Frazier. Nice little dump off when he was double teamed. What a pass from Cam Frazier. Stump cleans it up, and he's got 4, and we're tied at 6. And Tank there with the block. Cam with the defensive board. Bryce Beavers. Underhanded flip to Villarreal from the corner. Donovan with the 3, and the Cyclones enjoying their first lead of the game. I really like the pace here. This is much different what we saw in Rogers. The officials letting them play a little bit. Good flow. Remember, in that third quarter, we had 18 fouls called. Just no flow. There is a flow here. Villarreal stops left side. Missed the 3 there. Cam with the follow. Had to shoot that quickly. That's Tank Patterson. That one won't go. Russell crashing the offensive boards for once. That time just rolled off their fingers. A 2-on-2 back the other direction. They travel. Traveling. Pack a suitcase on that one. He took 3 steps with no dribble, and I think he just going to take it all the way. I didn't realize the defender was there. A substitution for North Little Rock, number 24, Javian Johnson. Their place 6'7" senior with a 6-foot senior. They're going a little bit smaller than what they had. Bryce at the top, Villarreal, and he traveled. Good call on that. Didn't put the ball on the floor before it moved the pivot foot. See Coach Claiborne on the far side there as assistant at North Little Rock since 2012. He's been in the school district much longer than that. Traveling violation here. Coach Claiborne, this is his first head coaching job at North Little Rock, obviously, first year, but he's been a head coach 1 year. Before that, he was actually a head coach at Marion for a season. Stomp at the top, will swing it around right side. On the block, Cam Frazier beat his man to the spot, missed the shot, though. Also getting a good look there. This is Andre Barnes. Take it to the top. Russell in a zone. See him challenging at the top. Not giving any free looks from the outside. Poke free there by Cam. But Smith able to get it back. Kevon Smith. Pass in the corner. Three-pointer is good by Ja'Cory Withers. Russell attacking quickly. We're tied. Stump lost it. They doubled down on him. He's able to kick it out. See Bryce there looking for the cutter. It wasn't there. Cutter was Cam. Russell too close there. Lost the handle on it. Bryce Beaver still with it. 15 seconds on the shot clock. In the corner. Patterson started his drive. Turnaround jumper from 15. Well, I don't know how you defend that. I mean, because that was good defense. And Tank just hitting that 15-footer when they cut off the baseline from it. Good defense, but just a better offensive play. And Patterson has 4. The Cyclones lead it by 2. Lost the handle. He's going to be bailed out with a foul. Javian Johnson just lost the handle on it. They're getting a foul called. Donovan Villarreal picks up his first, the third-team foul. They're going to give him 2 shots on that? He lost the ball on his drive. It's their third trip to the line. All 3 fouls have been shooting fouls. They've been perfect from the free throw line. There we go. That one barely grazed the iron. First substitution coming in for Russellville. Malachi Siner, the 6'4 junior, will replace Cam Frazier. Missed them both. The basketball gods didn't agree. That shouldn't have been a foul. That's why he missed 2 free throws. Russell's largest lead has been 3. There's a drive by Patterson, make it 4 now. As Achilles has 6 points. They answer quickly. Withers has 5 for North Little Rock. It's back to a 2-point advantage for Russellville. Posting up is Siner. Patterson's open from the outside. No good, but he's knocked to the floor. 3 free throws coming for Achilles. We saw this happen against Russellville in the Rogers game. The other team got 3 free throws. I didn't see who the foul was called on. First free throw is good. Patterson 5 of 9 now on the season from the charity stripe. Make it 6 of 10. Blake Seegers, number 0, back in for North Little Rock. North Little Rock just 3 field goals. 4 of 6 from the free throw line here in this first quarter. The third one's no good, but the follow won't go, but we get a foul called, and Luke Stump's going to the free throw line. Seegers picks up his first. I tell you, that can drive a coach nuts when you're the defense and there's an offensive rebound on a free throw. Bonus points is what it feels like, and Luke Stump's got 5 with that first made free throw. He comes into the game 71% from the free throw line. This shot to wave it off. It does not count. We have a foul called on Russell. Lane. I hope it's a lane violation. They didn't announce a foul, so it does not count as a free throw attempt. Almost a steal there by Beavers. They take it baseline, get the offensive rebound. Long 3 try. Missed that one. Villarreal had it, lost as he was double teamed. A shot blocked out of bounds, and let's see, I think it's their ball. No, they're going to call a foul. They're going to get Russellville with the foul. That'll be on Patterson, his first. That'll be Javian Johnson, who's going to shoot 2. So far, North Little Rock dominating the offensive boards. Russell finally had gotten one there, and then it was stolen away as they didn't quit on it. They had double-teamed Villarreal to get the steal. Javian Johnson missed that one. Missed that one too. Foul that away. If we're in a close game, we need to foul somebody. He's 0 for 4 from the free throw line. Here comes the double team. Looked like they bumped him there. No foul call. They're going to say just out of bounds. Yeah. Letting him play a little bit. That's part of it. But if you lose the basketball as a result of the contact, they forgot to start the shot clock. Usually they'll call a foul, no matter how light or heavy the bump. If it results in a turnover, they'll call the foul. It's the second time they forgot to start the shot clock. They set it at 32. The officials are going to watch that because they use that for the 10-second violation. Johnson mishandled it. They get it back. Double teamed in the corner. They'll throw it away. Villarreal in transition. Doesn't have the numbers. Patterson will pop out in the corner. And he stepped out. Corey Withers back in the basketball game. Number 3, he has the basketball. 3-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Withers picked up his dribble there, probably a little too early. He gets it back. He'll stop and shoot a long 2. His foot was on the line. Whistle and the foul in the backcourt. They've really picked up their defensive intensity. It results in a foul. That'll be on number 1, Kevon Smith. Cam Frazier will check in, replacing Patterson here in the final 14 seconds. And for the first time for North Little Rock, number 13, Daniel Woods, 6'4". Signer can't run the baseline here. So that was after a foul. They back off as soon as Russellville got the ball in bounds. In the corner, Villarreal. He'll miss the 3, and rebound lost out of bounds last touched by North Little Rock. I know we show 0 on the clock, but there's actually 0.3 seconds, just enough for a catch and shoot, or maybe a lob inside. So there's 0.3 seconds left here in the first quarter. Can't get anything off, but Russell leads it after the first quarter, 16-13 over North Little Rock. All right, in that first quarter, leading the Cyclones, Achilles Patterson getting the start tonight. He has 8 points, 5 points for Luke Stump, 3 points for Donovan Villarreal. That's all the scoring. Nobody with more than 1 foul for Russellville. For the Charging Wildcats, Ja'Cory Withers with 7 points. 2 points each for Seegers, Barnes, and Frazier. North Little Rock 4 of 8 from the free throw line. Russellville 3 of 4. Reset the fouls for you. They go back to 0. Russellville will have the ball to start the second quarter as North Little Rock got the opening tip. Signer, Villarreal, Beavers, Frazier, and Stump. Backdoor cut there by Villarreal. Missed that one. Stump had it. It was poked away. Villarreal almost got a steal in the backcourt, kind of like what they did to him. Three-pointer ties it. Withers has 10. Villarreal lost the handle on it. Whistle, foul, or just out of bounds? Yeah, it is going to be a foul. He's diving on the floor. Daniel Woods. But when you dive into the legs of somebody, it's always going to get called. Double team, get off the sign, a brief man advantage. Villarreal tacking there and breaking the tie. He's got 5. Russell back up by 2. Withers has a couple threes and a long 2 to his credit. I'll lob it inside here. Push off, or what are we going to get? Foul called on Russellville. Russellville's fronting the postman. Usually don't get a foul on that. Bryce Beavers picks up his first. I say he reached and grabbed. Lob in tipped away there by Stump, but right in the corner. That might have been a double dribble there. And hitting the long 3 is Robert Griffin. You don't expect the 6'7" forward to be out there shooting threes, but he did, and they've got the lead back. They started off the game leading 4-0. Russellville led 9-6. Hadn't relinquished the lead until now. And Stump makes quick work of that. He's got 7, and Russellville back up by a point. Defense is the chant by the Cyclone bench. Retry and miss there by Withers, but another offensive rebound by Seegers. They are dominating the offensive boards. Good defense there, I say that, and then we get called for a foul. Is that going to be on Luke Stump? Picks up his second. Luke thought he was straight up. So you got to be careful. Coach Chenault's going to stick with him in the game and doesn't want to pick up a third, but he needs him in there right now. Robert Griffin ties the game with that made free throw. Ball was knocked out, does not reset the shot clock. It's at 26 now. There's Cam. Setting the screen, he'll go the other direction. Feeds along the baseline. Cutting the middle, Stump. Boy, what a great design play there, and Luke gets the bucket. But the Cyclones moving the basketball there with a drive by Cam to Villarreal, who gets the assist to Stump. Russell back up by a point. Short on the long 2. The long rebound comes to Bryce. He's being chased, and underhanded flip to Luke Stump. Takes it all the way. Luke was surprised there, but then when he realized the basketball's there, he knew exactly what to do with it. And Luke's got 11. Off the drive there. Now we have a timeout. No. We got some substitutions coming in. I don't know what the issue was there. Villarreal gets it back to Bryce. They got to cross the timeline. They do. Russell looking to attack there. It's a three from Villarreal. That's his second three of the game. And Donovan with 8. There's a steal by Cam. Cam tripped up. No call on that. Stump mishandled. Couldn't handle the high throw. All the way back down. Withers layup pinned against the backboard by Frazier. What a great block there by Cam. North Little Rock doing what they do, get offensive rebound, but Cam saying you're not getting an easy layup out of this one. Got to make them work an offensive play for it. 18 seconds on the shot clock here. Now, going to call an offensive foul? They're calling a foul on Cam. That's his second. They're not giving us any love on that. Off the inbounds pass, put up and in. Russell's lead is 2. Frazier's first field goal of the game. He has 4 points. Villarreal wide open at the top. Can't get the bounce on that one. We have a foul called on North Little Rock. It's going to be on 0. Blake Seegers, his second. High post to Frazier, outside the lane. Get back to Cam, finding Patterson in the corner. 18-footer, that one missed. Frazier the rebound. Braylon Frazier for North Little Rock. Number 4, working against Cam Frazier for Russellville. Number 23, and we're all tied. Braylon getting the basket, he's got 6. There's Stump. Turn around in the lane. Looks like they might have fouled part of it. Doesn't matter. Wasn't called, but it doesn't matter. Achilles Patterson getting the offensive board to put back, and Tank's got 10 points. We have an official timeout for an injury. Russell using that time to go over and talk to their coach. To stop it because of an injury, they had to make a substitution. Cade Smith for Russell will check in at the next dead ball. Two screens. Russell made the switch each time. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Pulls up from 15. That one good. Well, they made them earn it, but they did. 6 points there. Bryce saw the double team. Russell again, a brief man advantage. Quick pass inside to Luke Stump. Lost it going up. It goes right in the hands of Donovan Villarreal. 22 seconds on the shot clock. And with the steal. Blocked there by Patterson. How many blocks does he have? 3 or 4 tonight. Doing a good job there. That's the second time he's blocked one from behind and not committed a foul. Villarreal, he'll be fouled on his way to the basket. He's going to go shoot 2 here with 2:12 left to play in the first half. Robert Griffin is first. Don't know if he's the first, second, or third. Donovan missed the first. His first trip to the line tonight. 65% on the season. He's now 11 of 18. Cade Smith will check in for the first time for Russellville, 5'10 junior guard. Cam Frazier and Patterson will sit down. Malachi Siner back in. Missed that one. Missed them both, so Russell unable to come away with any points on that possession. Nice deny there by Donovan Villarreal. Siner came up with it. Cam Smith taking it all the way. A blocking foul as they got in there too late. They slid in there too late. The player doesn't like it. I think his coach agrees with the call, though. But Seegers picked up his third. Slid in there a little too late. Cade Smith going to the free throw line. Seeger got to be careful. He's talking to the official who made the call after picking up his third. And he will sit down now. Cade uses every part of the rim on that one. Cyclones up by 2 here. They came with a screen, but he drove around it. Kicks it out, looking for Brandon Frazier. He missed the open 3. The tipped up, no good. And Donovan Villarreal with the rebound. His outlet pass is going to be knocked away. And they say last touch by North Little Rock. That one was off North Little Rock. That one was off North Little Rock. They say last touch by us. That's got to be overruled. He's the one that came and get the steal. And Coach Chenault was asking for some help. And the official's not going to go ask for help. I mean, physics will tell you that that didn't go off us. Terrible call on that one. Russellville should have the ball trying to build on a 2-point lead. An open drive in the corner for the open 3. That one missed. Rebound put up and in there by Robert Griffin. Tough turnaround there by Russellville. Bad call goes against us there. You got to fight through it. It's now a tie game, and now Russell going to turn it over in the backcourt. Layup will give them the lead, and Coach Chenault wants to take a timeout. Since the bad call, it's been a 4-point turnaround for Russellville. They now trail by 2, and Coach Chenault taking a timeout. It's the first timeout called by either team in this game. 30-second timeout, meaning you're not allowed to go sit down. Yeah, that was a missed call there, and Coach Chenault, I think, was asking for him to check and see if he would get help, but he did not. Charles Barkley would say that was terrible, but you gotta battle through adversity, and you'll see plenty when you're playing against North Little Rock. They're 7-8 power. Russellville going toe-to-toe with them here in this first half. We'll give you stats coming up at halftime. We've got 2 players in double figures in this first half. Patterson with 10 and Luke Stump with 11. Siner will inbound it. Run the baseline even after a timeout as long as it's a made basket. You got 5 seconds to get across the timeline. 3 seconds and Beavers does it. Had it knocked briefly, but he got it back. Floats this one in the corner. Russell can set their offense. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Pass just a little bit low and behind Villarreal. 32 seconds left. Shot clock is off. started the game with a 4-0 lead by North Little Rock. Russellville took the lead at 9-6 on a three-pointer by Villarreal. Now a charge is going to be called on Robert Griffin. Good job by Malachi Siner standing his ground there, taking that charge. Fifth foul, but not shooting. Not shooting, even if you're in the double bonus. Watch out, that one knocked out. Got to make sure that's ours. With DeBryce Beavers who gets in the front court. Malachi Siner trying to feed it underneath, but it was intercepted. It stepped in front of Luke Stump, is who he was thinking of going to. Missed the three. Villarreal with 5 seconds. And a foul called here. That's great for Russellville because there's 3 seconds left. The best we're going to get is a half-court shot. But because of the foul, we're going to get 2 free throws out of the deal. And at least we got a shot here. In that position, with a man in front of him, a man behind him, I think the best we can hope for is to getting off a half-court shot, if he gets that. But with 5 fouls already, we get 2 shots here. Villarreal's been cold from the free throw line tonight, missing that one, 0 of 3. He's due. Patterson will come in replacing Stump. Don't want to pick up his 3rd foul if they call something there. .5 seconds left. Missed that one. On the buzzer, nowhere close. We've come in the first half. Cyclones trail by 2. Tough last couple minutes, but Russellville hanging in there, only trailing by a bucket. We're going to take a break here in a second and do some totaling for you. Come back with totals of the first half here in just a moment. Russellville trailing by 2 here at the half. Russellville was led by Luke Stump, who had 11 points in the first half, 10 points for Achilles Patterson, 8 points for Donovan Villarreal, and 2 points for Cade Smith. A couple players with 2 fouls, Stump and Frazier, each with 2 fouls. Russellville 5 of 10 from the free throw line in that first half. For North Little Rock, they were led by Ja'Cory Withers, who had 10 points, a couple of threes to his credit, 8 points from Braylon Frazier, 6 points for Andre Barnes, 7 points for Robert Griffin, and 2 points for Blake Seegers. They were 6 of 10 from the free throw line in the first half. Seegers, who only has 2 points, has 3 fouls. Robert Griffin, who has 7 points, has 2 fouls. Russell Cyclones is going to be playing tomorrow morning here at 10:30 at Pulaski Academy. They'll be taking on Jacksonville. Next week, for your boys, they'll have 3 games at Searcy. It's set. It's a classic. They'll be playing Tuesday at 5:30 against Fort Smith Southside, and then Thursday at 4 o'clock against Cabot. and then Saturday at 4:30 against Little Rock Catholic. We're not sure which games we're going to be able to do, if any. So best I could tell you is be checking our Facebook page, and we'll be letting you know. Because some of those times are really early. For instance, the Cabot game is at 4 o'clock, and I don't think we can make it there in time. For the girls, they're headed that direction, but they're going to stop at Valonia, and theirs is going to be a tournament, guaranteed 3-game tournament. So their first game will be Monday night, 6:30, as they take on the Bryant Lady Hornets. If they win, they'll play Wednesday. I'm sorry, if they win, they play Thursday. If they lose, they play Wednesday. They'll play the winner or loser of Nettleton and Lakeside. The other side of the bracket, Valonia, the host team, gets a bye, so they're automatically going to the semifinals. And the other two teams on that side of the bracket is Pulaski Academy and Paragould. The last day will be Saturday, so the Lady Cyclones will be playing Monday, and they will be playing Saturday, and they'll be playing one day in between. So both teams go in separate directions, and it's not the only time they will. Early December, I know the girls are going to Joplin, Missouri for a tournament. The boys are going back to Northwest Arkansas for a Rogers Classic. All that going on. And then December 15th will be the next home game, and it'll be both teams, the girls and boys, both hosting Fort Smith Northside. And that'll be December 15th at Cyclone Arena. So that's what's on tap. At this point, when both teams are going different directions, it's almost like just playing day to day. And so one thing we can talk about is tomorrow, 10:30 against Jacksonville. This North Little Rock team beat Jacksonville by a point, 50-49 last week. I mentioned to you that Nathan Claiborne, the head coach for North Little Rock, has been assistant for a long time here. He succeeds Johnny Rice, who was a head coach for 10 seasons and won 5 state championships. And Coach Claiborne was the assistant for all 5. Greg Chenault, in his first year at Russellville, is third in coaching high school basketball. He was at Bauxite coaching the girls there the previous 2 years. Had a 4A state tournament appearance with Bauxite. An overall record there of 44 wins and 21 losses, coming in here 3-0 on the season. And I've had to talk to him numerous times about the non-conference schedule, and he said it's a tough one. When they go to Rogers, they're going to play Parkview out of Missouri. They're also playing Nettleton, who's really good, and then Heritage. Russellville led by as many as 5, I believe, 16-11 in that first half. They trailed by as many as 4. They trailed by 2 here. They're coming back out on the court. We're a couple minutes away from the second half. Once again, appreciate you joining us. We appreciate the media team here at Pulaski Academy. They have nothing to do with this game. They are covering their football team. It's taking on Greenwood. And I told them, I said, how's it feel that everybody in the state's pulling for you guys against Greenwood? And Josh Carroll, who's their play-by-play guy, says, well, that'll be a first. So we usually don't have everybody pulling for us. But they've been fantastic helping us get set up and making sure that we're able to stream. Again, the Dandy Dozen here does a pay-per-view, and we had one official allow us to stream, but said we can allow you to show up, but that's all we can promise. Can't promise you a spot or anything. And the media team at Pulaski Academy really helping us out. So we owe some gratitude towards them, and happy that we're able to bring this to you on Black Friday. I figure a lot of people wouldn't want to venture out to North Little Rock. To Little Rock for a basketball game, because they're probably shopping in Russellville, shopping in other cities, and maybe watching the Razorbacks, something. So we're happy to bring this to you. North Little Rock will start the third quarter with the basketball. Looks like it'll be Patterson, Stump, Frazier, Beavers, and Villarreal. Russellville, I hate to say this, but they've been juggling the foul issues pretty well. It's funny, one of my good friends is the Benton Panther play-by-play guy, and even though they got a semifinal football game tonight, he texted me, Jim Garner, checking on Coach Chenault because it's one of his favorites, and, of course, a Benton alum. And they said a lot of people from Benton are pulling for Russellville this year in basketball because of that. And they really love Coach Chenault and Benton. This is Braylon Frazier. Throw it in the corner. Seegers open for three. That one no good. The long rebound tipped by Cam. That one you can't fault us because those long missed threes will give long rebounds. There's Stump. Had position. Had it taken away. And another offensive rebound as they threw it out of bounds off Villarreal. Been tough overcoming the offensive rebounding of North Little Rock. They're just relentless on the boards. Withers gives it back to Braylon Frazier. He'll miss the three. Skying to get that rebound, and they don't quit. Get the rebound, you got two guys on you. We had one that was lost, but Achilles did a good job of avoiding the double team, getting the pass off. He's pushed underneath without the basketball right now. I just saw that. Stump at the top. Hand it back off to Bryce Beavers. Thrown in the corner. Villarreal open for three. That one no good. Rebound. Let's see. Whistle, and a foul's going to be called on North Little Rock. They grab Luke Stump. Robert Griffin, I think, is the one that had a hold of his jersey. Stump didn't complain. He was going after the basketball. That's number 3 on Griffin. Off the inbounds pass, Villarreal open from the corner. This one's good. Well, the very first three that Donnie V hit gave Russellville the lead at 9-6. He gives Russellville lead here with a 3 at 34-33, and he now has 11 points. Tied for the team lead in this game with Luke Stump. There's Griffin at the top, guarded by Stump. Gotta be careful. Russell going to make the switch there. Lobbing it inside, too far underneath the basket. Use the power dribble. Blocked from behind by Cam Frazier. He used the power dribble, positioned himself because he was too far underneath the basket. Moved right into where Cam was, and he gets the block. Rice will use the screen. Pick and roll's not there. Donnie V. And all right. Sorry about that. At least he apologized for getting in our way. Tank Patterson whistled for a foul there. We missed it. Somebody in our way. But like I said, at least he apologized. That's the second on Patterson. Javian Johnson gives it up. 3-point try by Barnes. This one rolls off the iron. Grab it and protect it. That's what Cam does. Gives it off to Bryce, who's double team. Needs some help. They'll get it off to Villarreal in the front court. Cam Frazier, acting job there, draws the foul. Well, wasn't a good enough actor the first time, good enough one that time, and Cam Frazier, who struggled to get it going today because he's been having to deal with fouls, that's 3 on him. They don't have that posted, so I don't know if Coach Chenault knows that's 3. They're not posting or calling out the fouls. They're calling out who it's on, but they're not calling out how many. So he either doesn't know it's 3 or he knows it's 3 and going to roll with Cam for a little bit. And now we have a foul called. No, a timeout. Oh, no, okay, it is a foul. So it was like the official there didn't call it. Official out there called it. It was Braylon Frazier who was hacking on the arm there. Sometimes you don't like it when officials out of position call it, but that one was a good call. Bryce on the wing. Posting up down low is Luke. They couldn't get it to him. He'll go up to the top. Now there's a drive by Beavers with the finger roll. Bryce, who had 7 the other night against Rogers, gets his first bucket. He doesn't score much. He doesn't look to score. You got a bunch of scores he plays with. He distributes the ball, but got that on the drive, and now an offensive foul there. And I tell you, there's some Cyclone fans up near us. They have been calling for that push quite a bit, and they finally get it there on Ja'Cory Withers, and I believe that's his second, and now a timeout called by North Little Rock. The Cyclones leading here by 3. North Little Rock charging Wildcats, and if you're not from Arkansas, maybe you don't know, North Little Rock used to be 2 different schools. There's North Little Rock, regular high school, and then Old Main. When they joined together, they actually joined the nicknames. They were the Chargers and the Wildcats, so that's why they're called the Charging Wildcats. I don't know if it's still this way, but it used to be this way, that the 9th and 10th grade were, I believe, where Old Main was, and I don't think it's that way anymore, but when they joined, Old Main had the 9th and 10th graders, and then North Little Rock High School had the 11th and 12th graders. Bryce Beavers, who got that last bucket. There's Villarreal. Looking, Stump was posting up. It was tipped away. Russell very fortunate to get it back, and Stump collects, and he's got 13. The throw was thrown a little short there, but when it was tipped back, credit Villarreal for going back and getting the basketball and giving it back to Stump for the assist. Luke with 13, and Russell's lead is 5. Johnson underneath. Reverse layup won't go, but again, the offensive rebound, and when they threw it inside, it was kicked back out by Russellville. Signer will check in, replacing Cam Frazier. He's checking out with 3 fouls. I was holding my breath on that as long as he was in there with 3. Didn't want him to pick up 4th. Russell denying the entry pass. And this is Ja'Cory Withers. They'll set a screen for him. Russell making the switch here. Goes in the corner to Braylon Frazier. Working at Signer. Kicks it back out to Withers. 6 seconds on the shot clock. He's got to do something with it. Braylon Frazier, nice feed inside. A shot off the back of the iron. Signer there with the rebound for Russellville. That buzzer you heard was the shot clock. Cutter a little too hot to handle on the pass. North Little Rock in transition. Taken away by Villarreal. We're going to get a foul called. Draws a lot of oohs and ahs from the crowd. They thought Villarreal got it cleanly. Instead, he picks up his 2nd personal foul. Seegers has not hit a field goal yet. All his points coming from the free throw line. It's their first free throws of the second half. First one no good. They're now 6 of 11. And Cam Frazier going to check back in with 3 fouls. Here plays Patterson, and no way. Patterson, they say, get back in there. It's not you. It's Malachi Signer. So Patterson will come back on the lane. It's 1 of 2. As Villarreal tried to feed it underneath the Patterson. It was intercepted. Cam trying to get it back for Russell, knocked it away. It's thrown off the leg of Luke Stump. Reverse layup won't go. Another offensive rebound. And a block there by Tank Patterson, who is straight up, but they're going to get him for the foul, and that's going to be number 3 on him. Goodness gracious. Oh, no, they call it on Villarreal. That'll be his 3rd. I don't think Villarreal was around it. Maybe the official changed his mind, thought that was a block. I'll assign it on somebody else, but you can't do that. And now Villarreal going to sit down with 3 fouls. Cade Smith, and for him, fouls starting to mount up a little bit for the Cyclones. Frazier and Villarreal each with 3. Patterson and Stump still on the floor with 2. Missed. Almost an offensive board. Russell throwing it out, and there's Bryce Beavers. Smith back to Bryce. Almost intercepted. Underhanded flip is going to be saved. No, it's not. Out of bounds. Russell being a little lackadaisical with the basketball there. They got a gift with Javian Johnson missing more free throws. He is 0 of 6 from the line, and he's going to go sit down. And for him will be number 13, Daniel Woods. Russell's led by as many as 5. North Little Rock's led by as many as 4. Patterson with the defensive board. But a turnover again. Seems like it's either turnovers by Russell or offensive rebounds by North Little Rock. We get a foul called in the backcourt. That'll be on Ja'Cory Withers. We have him for 3. When we do get it, it seems like they get it right back. But I don't know if you noticed that, but if you notice the way Luke and Cam were playing that, straight up. Even Cam with the block shot getting it straight up. You got to play that way. Don't let the official call it on you, because as soon as you come forward with the hands, they'll usually get you with the foul call. 24 seconds on the shot clock. Tank Patterson will take it baseline and miss the dunk. Good look there. Russell wanted a foul before Tank got the basketball there. And out of bounds, and last touch by Russellville. Stump's trying to plead his case, saying that they came over the top of me, and they're the last one that touched it. He's not wanting a foul. He's saying it's off on number 13, Daniel Woods. Yeah, they were grabbing Cam Frazier, and that's what Russell was wanting a foul call on. They didn't get that. Shot up and in there by Ja'Cory Withers. That's 12. Cross-court pass intercepted in the backcourt. They can tie it here. Got partially blocked or altered by Frazier. And the rebound. We're going to get a foul called, or a timeout. Okay, it's a timeout called by the Cyclones. Yeah, 30-second timeout with 1:47 left in the third. Russell with 3 timeouts left, using their second one here, leading it by 2. Russell just 7 points here in this third quarter, but they have a 2-point lead. They trailed by 2 at the half. And Coach Chenault talking to his team there with that timeout. I don't know if he called it to say possession, but that's what he did. I don't know what the one official's hollering at the other official, and that's what we're waiting on. The official on the far side was talking to this official. And I don't know what the call is. So whatever it is, it's settled now. Off the inbounds pass is going to be intercepted in the backcourt, and they're going to call a foul on Patterson on the slippage by the player, and we have him for 3 now. Blake Seegers will be shooting 2. He's 3 of 4 from the line. That's all the points he has. He's hit his last 2. He's got 4 points. Rebound for the Cyclones, just hanging in there. Villarreal in the front court, double team. Has it knocked away, out of bounds. Last touch by North Little Rock. Shot clock does not reset. Russell has 24 seconds to do something with it. They are having difficulty with North Little Rock's defense in the backcourt and the traps in the front court. Up there, got both hands on him. They want a foul call, not going to get it. Russell missing on the layup. I think what's frustrating Russellville is the games they've been playing, it's been called a lot tighter, in a sense where you can't put two hands on a guy, and they're expecting some foul calls. Maybe that should be. Having to try to fight through that. Seegers will miss the three, and Villarreal can't hang on to it. Goes out of bounds, and they'll get another shot here to try to take the lead. Corey Withers, a quick break for North Little Rock, checks back in, replacing Andre Barnes. Turnaround jumper missed badly, but again, an offensive rebound shot blocked. Got it back, another block, and now a whistle and a jump ball call. Backside official called the jump ball, and it'll belong to Russellville with 53.8 seconds left. Good job by the Cyclones not fouling there. See that sneaking up with that trap. Here it comes. Bryce backing up a little bit. Pass to Villarreal. Gets across the timeline. Frazier along to Tank Patterson. Shot in. Count it. And he's going to the free throw line. That'll be on Blake Seegers, his fourth. He went straight to the bench. He knew it. Are they switching it on Ja'Cory Withers? Okay, they are switching the fouls on Ja'Cory Withers. Tank gets the and one with the made free throw. Patterson with 13. Love a defensive stop here. There's a drive by Withers. Missed the layup. Patterson the rebound. Shot clock is off. Patterson in the front court. Had it knocked away from behind, but picked up by Frazier. Villarreal was thinking about a three. He has to save it in bounds. Errant pass goes over to North Little Rock. Oh, they got away with a carry there. Russellville's all over that one. The bench all stood up. They want the carry, not going to get it. They'll launch one, three on the buzzer. It won't go. We've come to the end of the third quarter. Lively action there in the final 20 seconds. Russellville hanging on to a 4-point lead, getting ready for the final quarter. Cyclones weathering the storm there. They trail by 2 at the half. Coming back with a 4-point lead. Not their best offensive quarter, but playing good defense, doing just enough to take a 4-point lead. 10 points in that quarter. A 3-point play by Patterson, a 3-pointer by Villarreal, a couple of 2s by Beavers and Stump. But, hey, that's all we needed to take the lead. 3 players in double figures. Kelius leading the way with 13 points, and 2 players with 11 is Stump and Villarreal. So we start the fourth quarter. That jump ball, remember, that means North Little Rock gets the ball here to start the fourth quarter. In the corner, Griffin with her 3. No lead safe, the way they shoot from outside and the way they crash the boards. It's a 1-point advantage. And Russell going to take a timeout. They had 3 left, now they have 2. And Coach Chenault giving Frazier the go-ahead to call that timeout. I think all we have left are full timeouts, so this is going to be a full timeout. Russell led by 4, but the 3-pointer there by Griffin. He's got 10 points in the game now. He's the second player for the Charging Wildcats in double figures. A couple of 3s for the 6'7 senior. I don't think North Little Rock doesn't realize it's a full timeout. They were thinking it's a 20. The assistant coach for North Little Rock said, you said a 30, but we saw the official put both hands out. When you see them, they call a timeout, and they put 2 fists out to each side. That's a full timeout, and they even announced full timeout. I don't think Russell has any 30s left. Russell's had difficulty with North Little Rock getting offensive rebounds and getting steals in the backcourt, in our backcourt. Russell needed to withstand that for the last 7.5 here. Villarreal gets it right back to Cam Frazier. You can see him sneaking up. There comes the trap. They throw it where the trap came from. It's always a good strategy. Beavers knocked to the floor. He's going for it, getting the diving on the floor for the loose ball. Russell wanting a foul call before that, not going to get it. Alternating possession should be over to the Cyclones because North Little Rock got the ball to start the 4th quarter. But credit Bryce when the ball was knocked from him, even though he thought it was a foul. I'm sure he did. You couldn't tell because all he worried about is going to get in the ball. Let the fans and the coaches complain about the foul not being called. You play basketball, and that's what Beavers did. And he dove on the floor for it, trying to save possession, and he did. A shot clock does not reset when you keep the ball because of a jump ball. It stays there, so it's at 23. They took care of the sweat on the floor, but apparently the official slipped and almost fell in the corner, so they're taking care of that over in the corner. And we'll get the inbounds pass to Bryce across the timeline here. There's Patterson, use a screen. He'll take it to the free throw line. Needs some help. Out to Donnie V. 10 seconds to shoot. Cam has it with 6 to shoot. Patterson, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. I don't know if he realizes he'll throw it up and he'll miss everything. A shot clock violation. Russell might not have realized that it didn't reset. Thought they had more time. They did recognize it, but it's got to hit the rim, and that shot didn't hit the rim, and now North Little Rock could take the lead with a bucket here. Defense is the chant. That's what Russell needs. They need a defensive stop. Probably need a few here. And Griffin tried to throw it back to Ja'Cory Withers. He was cutting the basket. Nobody was home. So Russell's defense answers the bell there. Here comes the double team, running away from it, being chased from behind. Cam, somebody's open. Here's Bryce in the corner for 3. This one no good. Rebound, North Little Rock. Got the open look. That's what you want. Drive to the basket. Withers pumps the 3 as Cam Frazier was in his way. Robert Griffin lays it over the iron there. He's got 12, and North Little Rock has a 1-point lead after the bucket. Villarreal, nice feed underneath, and Stump's going to the free throw line. Luke Vowd, he's got 13 points, had 11 in the first half. Frazier, Braylon Frazier, picks up his 2nd personal. Luke's 1 of 2 from the line. Had an and 1 earlier in the first quarter. He can tie it here. That one's short. This is Ja'Cory Withers working against Bryce Beavers in the lane. Shot rolls off the iron. There's Tank Patterson with the rebound. Here comes the double team. Bounce pass to Villarreal. Here's Frazier. Tried to enter and flip, and it's intercepted. Getting a hand on it was Cam, and now Villarreal's pass is intercepted. Block shot there. Patterson goes down hard and whistle, and let's see. I don't know what the whistle is, but Patterson is slow to get up. And they're going to call a foul on Cam Frazier. That's his fourth. Russell's arguing the call. They're also arguing that that's not a shooting foul. I don't think it was either. I don't know where he wasn't shooting. It was a rebound. It wasn't a. There was no shooting to it. It's not the right call here, but they get the first free throw. That's the second. Patterson the rebound for Russellville. Frazier, who's got 4, his pass deflected but picked up by Stump. Cam right back to Donnie V. His three-pointer is good. That's what we need. We need a few people to get hot from the outside, and Donnie V is as good a candidate as any. That's his 4th 3 of the game. He's got 14 points, and Russellville has a 1-point lead. They're trying to answer with the 3. That one no good. Villarreal with the rebound. No pressure this time until they reach the front court. Stump, his pass intercepted. Ahead and count the basket. I was expecting them to call a foul. They didn't. That's good for us, but they do get the lead. Good defense there by Bryce to not foul. Well, now it's getting pretty physical as they get around Bryce Beavers. He gets around his man. Nice feed underneath to Patterson. Lost it going up. The follow put up and in there by Luke Stump. Achilles lost it going up. I don't know how he managed to actually get in a shot attempt as he just tapped it towards the backboard. And Luke there getting the offensive board. It was almost as good as a pass to him. Braylon Frazier guarded by Patterson. Calling for a screen that didn't show up. Now drive to the basket. Layup is good by Kevon Smith, his first bucket of the game. North Little Rock back with a 1-point lead. 3.5 to go. Villarreal near the corner, gets it back to Patterson. There's Bryce. Now Cam Frazier with 4 fouls. Fake the pass, they jumped in the passing lane. Here's Patterson, started his drive, backs up, little 15-footer, grazes the iron. And now whistle and a timeout called by North Little Rock. They have 3 left. They're calling a full timeout here. 3:05 left to play here in the basketball game. The Cyclones trail by a point. .305 left to play here in the basketball game. Cyclones trailing by a point. North Little Rock with a basketball. The Charging Wildcats with 3 timeouts left. The Cyclones with 2. Russell battling some turnovers, battling offensive boards by North Little Rock. Kind of cold shooting, but Russell hanging in there. .23 seconds on the shot clock. They had actually called a timeout. They're driving to the basket at the time. This is Braylon Frazier, picked up by Beavers. Left side three-pointer, partially blocked there by Donnie. And with the rebound, Cam Frazier. Donnie Vieg skying to get that partial block, just enough on it. And Cam with the board. As Luke Stump pops way out. Patterson, little pick and roll's not there. Cam at the top. Villarreal, his three-pointer, they block it. They try to throw it off, and it goes off of Donnie V and then off of Kevon Smith, who was the one throwing it out. And he was standing out of bounds. Russell very fortunate there. I think he had a hold of it. They should reset the shot clock, but they're not going to. They're going to keep it at 15. Russell needs to know that. Villarreal will pass on the three. He'll drive to the basket. Little floater, won't go. Gets his own rebound, goes up strong, put it up, count the basket, and he drew the foul. 16 points for Donovan Villarreal. And Robert Griffin's picked up his fourth personal. Villarreal hits the free throw. He had gone 0 for 4 from the line in this game. Good time to snap that streak, and Russell leads by 2. This is Withers, spin move, nothing doing in the corner. Three-pointers and air ball. I don't know if we got a piece of that or not. Ended up being an air ball, but we threw it away in the back court. 2:06 left. And you can't really fault Patterson there. He's saying, I know, but sometimes you got to get rid of it quick because their defense is suffocating. And if Russell makes a connection there, they're off to the races. Can't fault the aggressive play. There's a three-point try. They'll miss that one. Get their own rebound. Get a fresh 35. Step back three. That one missed. And now we have a whistle foul called on the Cyclones. Donovan Villarreal, it's his fourth. I'll tell you, when a shot goes up for North Little Rock, it's almost like they got 8 guys out there. The way they collect offensive rebounds, seems like they have more than 5. They count the basket, and I think they get on Villarreal. He just fouled out of the game. It is. See, that's the problem with one that's not really all there. You know, that's like, I don't know about that call. All it takes is one and then adds up because they only get 5, and Villarreal is fouled out with 17 points. All it takes is one touch foul, and that's one too many, and the Cyclones are going to miss Villarreal's outside shooting for the final 144. Free throw's good. That's the first basket made by Seegers, and they have a 1-point lead. Frazier in the front court. Stump in the corner. Gives it back to Cam. Flash in middle with Stump. They couldn't make the connection. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Pass deflected out. They have it on a clear out. They'll stop. Pump fake shot. Blocked from behind by Stump, and Cam collects it. Well, he's fouled in the back court. They're not calling it. He's going to get the basketball in the front court. Here's Luke Stump, and he's going to be fouled on his way to the basket. They slid underneath him to call a blocking foul. Very dangerous play there. And they blocked the shot, and Coach Chenault was wanting to check and see, I think. Somebody's wanting to check to see if it was goaltending. Luke's going to shoot 2 here because it looked like it hit the backboard first, but I don't think that's what Coach Chenault was talking to him about. So free throw's good by Luke. And we're all tied here with 1:12 left, and I think that's what Coach Chenault wanted. He said if he makes the first one, I want a timeout. Russell with 1 timeout left now. North Little Rock with 3, and Russell all tied here at 50-50. Again, Donovan Villarreal has fouled out of the basketball game for Russellville with 17 points. Cam Frazier has 4. He's having to play careful. Patterson with 3. North Little Rock hasn't had anybody foul out. They do have 2 players with 4, though. Seegers, who only has 7 points in the game, and Robert Griffin, who's got 12. Minute 12 left to play. And good job by Luke Stump on that. I still think they might have pinned it against the backboard. Maybe they didn't. I'll have to go back and watch the replay. But hitting that first free throw to tie the game here. You know, what do? You got 2 fouls to give, or 1 foul to give. Remember, when you get to 5, that's when it's a shooting foul. So and Russell again with just 1 timeout left, and North Little Rock with 3. Luke Stump with 16 points in the game, going to the free throw line for his second. He is 2 of 4 from the line tonight. This one, no good. We're tied at 50. North Little Rock on the move. Need a defensive stop here. .22 seconds on the shot clock. And a timeout called by North Little Rock with 54.9 seconds left to go into the game, but 19 seconds on the shot clock, and it's going to be a full timeout. I think they won a 30, but they don't have any 30s left. Little Rock using that timeout here. They have 2 left. We got 1 left. Again, 18 seconds now on the shot clock. There's Robert Griffin. Little give and go. Takes it down. Wanted away there by Patterson. 7 seconds on the shot clock. He'll launch the 3. Missed that one badly, and Russellville gets the rebound there with Luke Stump. So 1.5 second differential. Frazier has it knocked away. There's a scramble for it. Who's going to come up with it? Still nothing. Get a timeout call. I say nothing to get a jump ball called. Coach Claiborne wants a jump ball call. Russellville saying they got it timeout. I don't think enough people had it. He's still asking for a jump ball. It was Patterson that had it. There was no jump ball there. I think what the officials are talking about, what they should be talking about, is should the shot clock be turned off? Did it change hands? Now, if this is a jump ball, they should not force Russellville to take a timeout. And I don't know what they just called. And now Coach Chenault coming out. They shouldn't force us to take a timeout then. They just called a push on Russellville. They called a foul. Oh, they called the 10-second violation. That's what it is. They called the 10-second violation on the Cyclones. They have called a 10-second violation on the Cyclones. And if so, I think they need to give us our timeout back. At the very least. Coach Chenault having us say so. So they're giving North Little Rock the basketball back, saying it was a 10-second violation. So instead of Russellville with the basketball using their last timeout, North Little Rock will have it. Boy, there's some big calls that have gone against the Cyclones in key moments in this game, and none bigger than that. Shot clock is turned off now, or will be. They are giving Russell back their timeout. But now instead of Russell playing for the last shot to try to win or to go to overtime, North Little Rock's going to get to do that. That is just a tough call that goes against the Cyclones. Villarreal had fouled out. The fifth foul was tough. This one's tougher. The drive shot might have been partially blocked. Russell comes away with the rebound. 2 seconds, 1 second. We're going to overtime. We're going to overtime. Russ will have to do it again without Dono and Villarreal, but that's probably the best we could have hoped for after that 10-second violation going against the Cyclones. It'll be a 4-minute overtime, and each team is awarded an extra timeout. It's our first chance calling overtime with the new foul rules, and I don't know if they stay. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if they stay 3-3 or not. They still show it on the scoreboard, so I'm assuming that's what we're going to have. We'll have 4 minutes. Each team is awarded an extra timeout, so Russell has 2. North Little Rock has 3. Do a jump ball. Again, Donovan Villarreal fouled out of the basketball game for Russellville with 17 points. Russellville just letting them have the tip. That means we get the next jump ball. That 10-second violation caused it to where Russellville could not play for the last shot. It gave North Little Rock the chance to play for the last shot. Cyclones playing pretty good defense, getting that defensive rebound. They did not have the shot clock started. That's why we're stopping here. And they put it up and set it at 28 seconds now. Also trying to draw contact there. Didn't get the call. Back out for 3 by Smith. He'll miss the 3, and Luke Stump skying to get the rebound. There's Bryce Beavers. Here comes the double team. They get it off the Stump, ahead to Cam. Russell has numbers. Smith going to take it baseline with the layup. Cade Smith, his first bucket of the game. He's got 4. Good time for it. Russell leads it here, 52-50 in the overtime period. Trying to answer off the iron. Frazier, the rebound. Bryce Beavers, long pass to Cam. Lobs it underneath. Stump all by himself and missed the shot there as they came flying in. Rebound, battling for it. Stump can't grab it. He tried. He was trying. He was by himself. They noticed it way too late. Lobbed it over to him. And he was trying to get that last rebound there. Just missed it by a fingertip there. Smith looking down low to Robert Griffin. Going working against Patterson. Gets around him. Layup is good. And they'll draw the foul. And now Patterson, I think, has 4. Patterson's got 4. Frazier's got 4. Villarreal out with 5. Robert Griffin, who's perfect 2 of 2 from the free throw line, and 14 points going for the N1. They'll pull him out of the basketball game after that. I think they do that just to set up the press. They sub in. Double team's not coming. Expecting it. Cade Smith. Cam. Feet underneath to Luke Stump. Shot blocked from behind and saved inbounds by North Little Rock, and whistle foul called. And this one really getting going against Russellville because that's going to be 5 on the team. And so we'll walk it to the other end. That's on Cade Smith. They call him for the reach in, and it's going to be 2 shots as they got the double bonus. And Braylon Frazier will go to the free throw line. He's 3 of 4 from the line. He has 11 points tonight. He missed this one. Missed them both. Cam the rebound to Cade Smith. Baseline again, can't get it there that quick, and pass tipped out and whistle foul, and this is on Cam, and he's got 5. Cam Frazier fouls out with 0 points. Frazier's fouled out. Villarreal's fouled out. They're going to shoot 2 free throws here. Fouls really starting to show up now. And we're getting some key people out of the game. Villarreal fouling out with 17 points. Cam, even though he hadn't scored in this game, he's always a threat to do so. He's averaging 17 a game. Just had a cold night shooting, and the fact that he's had to deal with some foul trouble. He's tough to get in the flow there. 13 points for Withers as he hits the first. Malachi Siner checks in for him. Got uphill battle here in the overtime period, and Russell going to turn the ball over. And now it's the largest lead of North Little Rock, and Coach Chenault wants to take a timeout. Boy, hope this isn't true, but you just feel like the dam is about to burst. Russell's done all they could playing through the foul issues that they've had to deal with. Villarreal and Frazier out with 5 now. Keelis has played with 4. And you just feel like it's starting to slip away a little bit, but still some time. You're only down 5, 2:06 left. And Coach Chenault using a timeout here. But it's not so much the fouls giving them the free throws, even though that doesn't help. It's who they're fouling out. They're fouling out guys that we need to break the press. Villarreal and Frazier are the ones that help break the double teams and the pressure in the backcourt. You take the ball handlers off the floor. Russell's had an uphill battle here. Russell will be back here at 10:30 in the morning to play Jacksonville. North Little Rock beat Jacksonville a week ago, 50-49. Nope. In the game for the first time, Jaden Foster, number 15, a 5'10 sophomore. Patterson in the backcourt. Back to Foster. Nice Beavers. Seems like they're reaching and grabbing. They're not calling on that, and that's what's hurt Russellville. A little scoop shot, no good. Rebound, but North Little Rock has it. That was Robert Griffin with the rebound. North Little Rock going to milk some clock here. In the shot clock, so they can't milk it all the way down. It's at 24, and now whistle foul is going to be on Bryce. I'll put Ja'Cory Withers to the free throw line. He's 2 of 2. Has 14 points for North Little Rock. That's the largest lead for the Wildcats here at 6. Get them both. It's a 3-possession game. Bryce Beavers coming in, shot blocked, and it'll stay with Russellville. I tell you what hurt Russellville the most, other than the fouls, was at the end of the game. Remember that 10-second violation. Russellville didn't get a chance to win it in regulation because of that. Off the inbounds pass, Luke Stump, partially blocked there is Bryce with a quick put up and in. He's got 4. Backcourt, here comes the double team. Get the pass away in the front court. Now timeout called by North Little Rock with 1:17 left. 23 seconds on the shot clock. Normally you say you get a foul, but realize there's no 1-and-1, so you can give them 2 shots. But you know, with 23 seconds on the shot clock, you might try to just play good defense here. They've got some guys that are really good from the free throw line, and Ja'Cory Withers, but then number 4, Braylon Frazier, he might be one that you want to foul. He's 3 of 6 from the line. Number 0, Blake Seegers, is 5 of 7. Javion Johnson 0 for 6, but I don't think he's going to see the floor in this situation. Russellville 3-0 on the season. North Little Rock 3-1. Appreciate you joining us here. This is called the Dandy Dozen. Started at 9 o'clock this morning, starts at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Russell will play at 10:30 against Jacksonville. And then they'll be off until next week when they go to the Searcy Classic. Lady Cyclones will open play in the Bologna tournament on Monday at 6:30 when they take on Bryant. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Ball tipped away by Bryce, but North Little Rock gets it back. 16 seconds to shoot. Don't foul here, just play good defense because they've got to do something within the final 10 seconds. And Russell going to commit a foul there. Bryce doesn't agree with it. He wasn't trying to foul. There's 5 seconds on the shot clock when they call that foul. And that's number 4 on Bryce. Withers, that's his first miss. He hit 4 in a row. So still a 2-possession game no matter what happens here. If you can hit some threes. Hank Patterson will miss as Luke Stump with the follow. Puts it up and in, and a timeout called by Coach Chenault using his last timeout here with 45 seconds left. 18 points for Luke Stump. 17 points for Donovan Villarreal. Patterson with 13 tonight. Those are your 3 players in double figures. The game was tied at 50 in the overtime period. Again, controversial finish to the overtime period. Russellville was whistled for a 10-second violation when the ball was knocked free, and they grabbed it with 25 seconds on the shot clock, calling a timeout. They awarded the timeout to Russellville and then had a meeting and said that it was a 10-second violation. There's a controversial call there. It did not, for them to go back and do that. I'm sure my official friends will probably tell me that that was the right call. They'll be able to explain it if it's a wrong call. They'll explain it either way better than me. Of course, I'm sitting here as a Cyclone fan, and I'm thinking it's a controversial call because it did not allow us a chance to win the game in regulation. It did go the overtime period, but again, not all things are even in the overtime period when you're in foul trouble. And at the time, your leading scorer had fouled out of the basketball game. You just soon win it. It's almost like football. You go for 2 if it's stacked against you. Off the inbounds pass. Thrown towards the middle of the court and picked off there by Luke Stump. Luke going to attack there and whistle a blocking foul, count it, and we get the bucket. And if you're North Little Rock, I don't know why in the world you just don't allow the layup. Russell's down by 4, give up the 2. We're fine with that. North Little Rock has a player down, but their coach is talking to the player who threw the bad pass. I don't think they realize that. Now they realize it. And so with 33 seconds left, Russell's not dead yet. Stump attacking the basket. They slid in there to get a blocking call, trying to take the charge. Seegers is the player down. And he was the one whistled for the foul, I believe, and 33.4 seconds left. Russellville down by 2, and Luke going to the free throw line to attempt the N1 here. Stump with 20 points. He had a 20-point game against Harrison, I remember. I don't have his stats in front of me, know what his career high is, but I remember the 20 against Harrison. He's got 20 tonight against North Little Rock, looking for 21. Russell out of timeouts. He cannot stop the clock. The shot clock will be turned off. It's the free throw. It's huge. A lot of ways Russell can play this. They can foul, but they may just try to make a steal first to get him across the timeline in 10 seconds. They got to get to 23, and they're going to foul in the front court. Russell's just got to worry about, that's Bryce Beavers. Make sure that is, okay, that is his fourth. I had him at 4 already. Ja'Cory Withers, what I was going to say is if they hit the second one, you just got to get the rebound, but they don't have anybody on the lane. First free throw is good. Are we going for a 2 or a 3 here? Russell can't stop the clock, so they can't go for a quick 2 if they're down 3. Normally, if you have timeouts, you have that option, go for a quick 2 and then call timeout. Withers hits them both. Russell needs a 3. Foster in the front court. Here's Patterson. Lost the handle on it. Reach-in foul is going to be called on North Little Rock. Well, Little Rock's upset about it, but this actually plays into their advantage, I think, because it's going to put us at the free throw line. I think Russell wanted to attempt a 3 here. We're going to have to shoot 2 free throws. So this is almost the same thing as if they meant to foul us. Because now you make one and miss the other one intentionally. Again, I think this plays right in the hands of North Little Rock, even though they didn't mean to do it. All right, it's the first. Do you miss this one intentionally or not? Well, I mean, you don't have to, because if you make it, the clock is still stopped, so there's no, you don't have to do that here. He does miss it, and rebound by Frazier, Braylon Frazier for North Little Rock with 13.8 left. Foul called on who? Be on Foster. No, Cade Smith, that's who they called it on, his second. Say, don't put it on Achilles because he's got 4 fouls already. With 13.8 seconds left, they can pretty much ice the game if Frazier hits both free throws, but he's not been fantastic. It's the first one. He's 4 for 7 from the line. Hit them both. Bryce in the front court for Russellville. Go in the corner. Step back 3 by Patterson. Banks that one in, but you can't stop the clock. They'll bank in a 3, but the Cyclones are going to lose it here in overtime, 64-63. Cyclones lose it here in overtime. A lot of things that just did not go our way, but the one thing that was impressive was the way the Cyclones battled. They battled back being down. They battled back from adversity, having players foul out. And no quitting this team. And they handed their first loss tonight, but for them to go toe-to-toe with North Little Rock, 7A school, and lose by 1 in overtime, there's no shame in that. We're going to pause here just a moment, just do some totaling, come back with the totals, and be back to wrap it up. Cyclones lose it here in overtime, 64-63. North Little Rock being awarded the MVP. They do this at the end of each game at the Classic. They give it to Ja'Cory Withers. He had 19 points for North Little Rock, 15 for Robert Griffin, and 13 for Braylon Frazier. For the Cyclones, they were led by Luke Stump, who had 20 points in the basketball game. Achilles Patterson and Donovan Villarreal, each with 17. Villarreal, of course, fouled out of the basketball game. Bryce Beavers and Cade Smith each with 4. Cam Frazier did not score. He fouled out. Russell was tied at the end of regulation, 50-50. Lose it here in overtime, 64-63. They led by 3 at the end of the first quarter, trailed by 2 at the half, led by 4 at the third quarter. It's back and forth. I think the biggest lead for either team, I think, was 5 points. Russell battled back, but they fall short. Quick turnaround, though. Russellville will be playing Jacksonville Titans tomorrow at 10:30, right back here. We'll see you then. Cyclones lose it by a score of 64-63 in overtime. Thanks for joining us.